Hey guys, Torchmate Connor here, and welcome to Heartsfire 4 The Fire Rises. In this playthrough, we will be going as the Federal Republic of Germany, but in this playthrough, we will be going down the path of European federalization. But once, spoiler alert, Putin dies and Dmitry Medvedev takes over, and then wins the first European war and conquers Eastern Europe. And then we'll be going down whatever subpath I feel like of the European Union. It could be like Klaus Schwab or Gunther Fehlinger or, maybe European People's Party or Volta Europa or, But we'll see in future parts, though. So this is the first video on my channel, on this channel anyway, of 2026. Like, I'm sorry for not uploading throughout January or February. I kind of needed to take a break because, I had a lot of personal stuff and I was busy with a lot of stuff, so I felt like I needed to take a break. But, now I'm back, and now I'm doing what I do best, and that is make some shitty Hoi 4 videos. So, yeah. Let's get on with it. First COVID-19 case. Oh no. Let's hope it doesn't spread. And the Wagner Group has one in Central Africa. Yep. Now you got a whole state controlled by the Wagner Group. And it's now practically a Russian colony. There's a possibility... And there's a possibility they could invade the Congo and then turn it into a colony along with Angola. So... But the pandemic, we gotta fight it. We must fight the pandemic before it kills more of our citizens. There's this new mechanic. The Fire Rises had an update, and they added what do you call it? Proxy war mechanic, where you'll back each one side of a civil war. In this case, right here, you have the Libyan Civil War. And I'm gonna send a lot of arms to the Tripoli government, which is getting absolutely wrecked right now, unfortunately, but, we're doing the best we can. And, yeah, they just got their butts handed to them. They got their asses handed to them. Well, so much for that. So... Debate in the Bundestag. Let's go ahead and blame the leftists for this mess. In this playthrough, in pre-war Germany, last playthrough we went with CSTO, getting CSTO in charge. Now... I think I'm gonna get the AfD in charge in this playthrough. Next playthrough, if we're going as the Deutsche Demokratische Republik or German Democratic Republic, we'll probably get the Free Democratic Union or the Greens in charge. But this time we'll get the AfD in charge this time. I mean, this is my first time playing as the European Union path when Medvedev defeats NATO. So, you know, I think this will be something pretty cool to check out. See what paths they are. Because I know there's a glint of failing a path where, you know, he just, like, conquers the Middle East and then goes ahead and, like, dismembers Russia into a bunch of states, because that's what Failinga believes in. He believes in, like, an ex-Russia doctrine where Russia must be completely destroyed. Like, for example, he's in favor of, like, a bunch of, like, states. Like, he's in favor of a Central Siberian state, a Far Eastern state, Moscow Republic. He's in favor of a independent, several independent Caucasus countries, including Chechnya. Like, yeah. Yeah, maybe we'll check out his path. Maybe we won't. I don't know. It's something I'm gonna have to think. I might have to think about. But if you have any suggestions of which path, which EU path I should take, let me know in the comments. About which path you think I should go as. Whether it be Klaus Schwab, Failinga, or any of the generic, regular paths. Anyway, we reopen the country. Now I think we'll expand our NATO contribution. We'll crush the COVID virus. We'll crush COVID. Then we'll organize protests for Quiedenken, which is backed by the AfD. And they're against the COVID restrictions. And it makes the AfD pretty popular. On top of that, we are the anti-Russian bulwark. Then after this, we'll try to work out a deal with Visegrad. Try to see what we can do to get them to adopt the euro. Because we need more European unity. Especially in times like this. Like you got like Saudi Arabia falling apart. You know. You got Russia on our doorstep. Like, they've already taken Crimea and parts of the Donbass. They've brutally suppressed protesters in Belarus. And having Lukashenko consolidate his power. Look at that. He just canceled elections for 2025. So now Belarus is under an absolute dictatorship. And Russian puppet state. Like, look at their flag. Their flag is literally the Belarusian SSR flag, but without the hammer and sickle. Like, that just screams Russian puppet right at you, that flag. For real. Like, their language, the Belarusian language is dying. Like, it's getting replaced by the Russian language due to the Belarusian, dictator, Lukashenko. Because he prefers Russification. Literally. And Saudi Arabia is in a civil war. And the monarchy is shattered. Oh, come on. More of these Islamist attacks. Are you kidding me? And now we're suffering from an oil crisis. Yay. Sorry. Alright, now we can back the Republicans. Get that copyrighted music out of here. I mean, I don't really necessarily mind copyrighted material to appear, but here's the thing. It gets my videos blocked in some countries, so, you know. It's best not to involve copyright stuff, and, you know, I prefer, you know, not listen to music while I'm doing videos. I mean, when I'm not doing videos, then, you know, I just blast whatever music I have on here. Like, I really enjoy listening to music while playing Hoi 4, frankly, just not while I'm making videos. Can only afford taking so many of these refugees. Unfortunately. Anyway, let's establish energy autarky. And then we'll work to expand the Wilhelmshaven ports, the oil fields, rather than just... What was that? Some tank rolling. Yeah, we can just expand Wilhelmshaven refineries rather than just rely on Nord Stream. And Islamists have taken the Muslim holy city of Mecca. Oh no. That's not good right there. Now they're taking a bunch of Republican lands. I really hope they hold the front, but I doubt it. Let's just send more equipment to them, and Biden has won against Trump, and now... But... will that solve the crisis in America? I doubt it. There's a whole bunch of protests going on. I just know it, and they're suffering from COVID. You know, COVID, the COVID pandemic, the George Floyd riots, that's just making their situation a lot worse. Let's go ahead and shut down Nord Stream 2. Yes! Okay, the Republicans are gaining a lot of ground. That's good. German science is the world's finest. But anyway, the next video after this video will be the Combine Summer trailer. I was gonna make like a mapping video of the Combine crisis of 2020 so far, from like December 26, 2019 to February 5th, 2020, but you know, I decided it'd be more better to make a trailer, frankly. We're just gonna, let's go ahead and yoink the American bases, because, you know, their crisis is not gonna get averted. It's just gonna continue getting worse. So why not just yoink some of their bases? And the Republicans have defeated the Islamists. Perfect. Let's send more equipment. Let's send some more weapons. And defeat the Saudis once and for all. Let's go ahead and focus on domestic issues. But yeah, I decided not to make a mapping video. I'm probably gonna do it after episode 2 is released, which will be released at the end of this month. I'm not gonna give a exact date of when the Combine Summer episode 2 is gonna premiere. That's gonna be shown in the trailer, at the end of the trailer. And in description too, of course. You know, it'll have a release date, and it'll premiere on that date, which will be the end of this month. Like, and there's gonna be no delays. It's not gonna be delayed up to like August or hell, even December. Like, I wanted to get this out way back in November or December, but let's just say I had to wait a long time for some things to be sent to me. So, that's why episode 2 was not released months ago, as it should have been. Let me put it that way. So, it'll be out at the end of this month. Promise you. The Greens select who will lead their party. Let's pick Rabatabek. You know something about Rabatabek? So back in November 2024, Habeck was vice chancellor at the time, and Germany was going through like a government crisis, and and they had to call snap elections. And Robert Habeck, put out a campaign which was titled Habeck für Kanzler. That's what the meme was about. It was Habeck for Kanzler. Like number 4, not the German für, But it's not related. I don't think it has anything to do with that, but the thing is, someone on Twitter, or X is what it's now called, someone made a post saying that, titled Habeck ist ein Schwachkopf, or Habeck is a lighthead, or dumbass, or whatever. It can mean anything. And then after that, Habeck just sent police, because in Germany there's like this weird law where if you insult a politician, like call him an idiot or stuff like that, then they have the right to call the cops on you. Like, that's an actual law in Germany. Like, I don't get why they have that law. I mean, I get all the denazification stuff. I mean, I completely understand it. Like, they do not want to go down that path again. Like, the Nazis have literally destroyed Germany. Possibly forever. Like, it's basically crippled German nationalism. And I hope they get it back, by the way. Like Germans need to stop apologizing for being German. Like, I really hope they stop apologizing for being German because of the Nazi period. But the Nazis caused that. The Nazis are the reason why Germans are so apologetic for being German. But anyway, back to the Habeck situation. So yeah, Habeck just sent cops, and there's like this weird law where politicians, can send police if they're, if they've been insulted. Which is kind of a bullshit law, to be honest, for a government to have. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think they had it in the Weimar Republic. I mean, I know they had it in the German Empire where if you insult the Kaiser, you get jailed. And in Nazi Germany, you insult the Führer, or the Austrian painter, you get sent to somewhere much worse than jail. Like a concentration camp, for example. Dachau. You get sent there. But in modern day Germany, you insult a green politician, you get fined or jailed. So yeah. It's kind of a weird law. Especially in a country that guarantees freedom of speech, but on some restrictions, mostly consists of freedom of speech. Like you can call people woke, and you can criticize the government, you can mock the chancellor for crying. You can do that, but if you insult a certain politician, then they'll send the cops to your house, and yeah. I don't know. Also, another thing about the Greens, just recently, German police have begun looking for a user online because that user called this green politician fat, so that's pretty funny, if you ask me. But enough of my political rant, which you will see when I'm playing modern day Hoi 4 mods. I mean, even though I don't really want to get that political, because I know some of you are on the left, and I still love you guys. You know, I still love you guys. Y'all are brothers and sisters. Even in these times where the world is divided, like, there is so much political division in this world, and I feel like we all need to reconcile. We all do. So, choosing the alternative. Yeah, we're gonna get the Opti in charge. And I feel like Alice Vital can assemble a big tent coalition. You know the funny thing about Alice Vital? She... I think I said this in my last playthrough, but she's a lesbian, and she's dating a Sri Lankan immigrant. And she claims to believe Germany is for Germans, yet she's doing this. Alright, enough. We can't take any more. We just can't. Let's go ahead and empower the populist parties. Including Die Linke, too. Which is the far left party. Yeah, these people right here. There's two of them. There's the Antikapitalistische Linke, Antikapitalistische Linke, and there's the Kommunistische Plattform, led by Sarah Wagenknecht. And IRL, she later splits with Die Linke to form her own party. By the way. And the Civil War in America is breaking out. America's blowing up. Mm-hmm. Yep. There goes America. I was thinking about playing as the American constitutional government. Like, maybe playing as the populist Republicans, or maybe even the Patriot Republicans. You know, going as Trump and taking down Joe Biden. But I'm probably gonna say this after this playthrough. Like, we're gonna do European Union, and then we're gonna do the American constitutional government. I'm probably gonna play as populist faction. Most likely. Or maybe the libertarians, I don't know. But one faction I will definitely not play is the Atomwaffen Division, because, you know, I don't want my channel to get zucked, frankly. Like I would rather keep my channel rather than, you know, it getting banned because of some modern day mod for a Swedish World War II game. There goes America. Tell them to make themselves comfortable. United Nations have taken control of, Miami. But then the Atomwaffen Division are coming in and taking it over. So they better get those, refugees out of there as quickly as possible before they're all gassed. Or sacrifice to Satan, because that is a path for the Atomwaffen Division. There's, like, the Order of the Nine Angels. It's a satanic path. Satanist path. And there's the Christian path, too. But, you know, we're probably never gonna cover AfD, or I mean, I'm sorry, not AfD, the Atomwaffen Division. We're never gonna cover it. I mean, I'd be more comfortable covering the Patriot Front, to be honest. I don't know about the NSM, though. I mean, I haven't played too much of the NSM. I think I only played as them once, but... You know, I don't want to encounter any hate-filled messages that will get my channel suspended. That's the thing I'm most worried about. And that's why I'm abstaining from making a Atomwaffen Division playthrough. And the AfD is one. So we're just gonna appoint a new government. AfD-led government. There we go. Our government's been assembled. Oh, we don't need any help. Now we have the first lesbian... Yeah, see, this is what I'm talking about. Yeah, despite the push towards a more traditionalist and anti-immigrant attitudes, Vital's lesbianism and a relationship with a Sri Lankan-born film producer seemed to have little impact on her prospects, ultimately resulting in her securing the position of a lead candidate in 2017. So yeah, that really didn't seem to bother the AfD that much, considering that she's lesbian. I mean, the AfD stronghold, after all, is in a pretty atheist area of Germany. Like, Eastern Germany. That's the most atheist part of Germany. I mean, considering, AfD being more right-wing and more nationalistic, maybe that could change, I don't know. We won't tolerate this act of terrorism. Let's go ahead and placate NATO. Try to get us in charge of NATO. The true alternative for Germany. When die heißt AfD. That's actually a banger song, not gonna lie. I mean, I personally don't like the AfD that much. I mean, I personally support CDU, CSU, but, you know, that song, that AfD song is kind of a banger, not gonna lie. But, you know, let's go ahead and invite Tesla to Europe. Who else should we invite? Microsoft. We can invite a lot of people. Lockheed Martin. They have a... Yeah, inviting Tesla does make AfD more popular, considering that Elon Musk supports AfD. And he did a rally with Alice Weidel. Oh shit, I forgot to do that decision. So now Vizgod is standing defiant, unfortunately. And they will not join the Eurozone. They would much rather keep their currencies. Well, guys, you people make me sad. You really do. And Vladimir Putin has got COVID, and he's either gonna remain in office or he's just gonna die, or he's either remaining in office or he's stepping down and putting the FSB, the head of FSB in charge. Even though when Boris Yeltsin resigned in 1999 on New Year's Eve, he put Putin, who was prime minister at the time, to be the new president, and look at what Putin's doing. You know, today he's invading Ukraine. He's here in this timeline. He's already annexed parts of Georgia, and he's turning Russia into a dictatorship, pretty much. Like, real hot take here, guys. But Boris Yeltsin probably was, you know, way better than Vladimir Putin. Definitely. But even though Boris Yeltsin, you know, he wasn't the brightest bulb in the closet. I mean, he was the one that selected Putin to be president, and he kind of killed Russian democracy with that attack on the Russian Parliament building in 1993, even though he did that. Yeltsin really wasn't that bad. Let's face it. So, but he shouldn't. But one thing is, he shouldn't have done what he did with the Constitution, made the president more powerful. Like, he did allow a lot of freedom of speech, freedom of press under his rule. Like, the freedoms that Gorbachev brought to the Russian people, it all did not go away. That wasn't until probably the 2010s when it all faded away, even though in the 2000s under Putin, Russia was already really not that free. I mean, freer than how it was today, but still. And also, Boris Yeltsin was friends with Bill Clinton. And I think George H.W. Bush, too, I believe. You know, he was friends with both of them. He got along pretty well. Even though there was that time in 1999 where he condemned Clinton's bombing of Yugoslavia and was backing the Serbian regime, which I think he was backing the Serbian regime, but there was some leaked documents, there was like some declassified documents actually by the Clinton library that between a conversation between Bill Clinton and Vladimir Putin, which showed a different tone, which Putin actually was open to removing Milosevic from power because, you know, Milosevic was killing a bunch of Kosovars and a bunch of Muslims. So he was actually, who knows, maybe the Russian government at the time was actually open to getting rid of Milosevic. I don't know, but it's ironic because modern Russian propaganda shows the events of September 2000. What happened to Milosevic was a sort of colored revolution perpetrated by the CIA, which is not true. Like, there was a whole bunch of angry Serbians and Montenegrins that were pissed at what Milosevic was doing. They just kicked him out. Max Otto will help save Germany. We gotta get Steinmeier out. So yeah, that was a hot take I just made about Boris Yeltsin. I mean, he wasn't really a bad... I don't really consider Yeltsin to be a bad Russian president, even though he did do things that were pretty bad. Like you had the war in Chechnya and the stalemate. You had him already... Like, he was already souring relations with NATO, like, claiming that NATO should not expand eastward. Because of that apparent deal that Gorbachev made with the West that James Baker made with Gorbachev, claiming that NATO will not expand an inch eastward, which is not true. They never signed or made any public statements regarding that. Like, it's been debunked, actually. So yeah, Yeltsin was, I wouldn't say he was the best, but he was definitely way, way better than Vladimir Putin. 100%. Ooh, there's the war in Algeria. We gotta help out the Moroccans. Oh shit. They're getting their asses kicked. Makusoda or Friedrich Merz. Soda's ambitions are more convincing. I mean, I personally really like Makusoda. Like, he's based, I feel like. Very based. And Russia's doing a special military operation into Kazakhstan. Now we're gonna have to flame anti-Russian sentiment because of that. Oh, they're communist. Never mind. We'll still go on with that anyway. Ow. We had to deal with him for another 4 years, I believe. Five years, I believe. Maybe. Math sucks anyhow. So yeah, there's a lot of crazy stuff going on in this world. You have the war between Algeria and Morocco. You have the Russian invasion of Kazakhstan and Putin's remaining in power. He's not stepping down anytime soon. You got the AfD in charge in Germany, and you got the Civil War in America. There's a whole lot more to happen in the next part. But for this part, this is where we are going to have to leave off for now. So, I hope y'all enjoyed this video, and if you did, make sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe, join my Discord server. This has been Deutsche Connor, und auf Wiedersehen.